What is up, guys? In today's video we are going to be spectating random players in Fortnite Zero Build for the final time in Chapter 5 Season 3. As always, if you guys do enjoy this video, remember to give it a like, subscribe if you'd like to see more, and comment down below what you're most excited to see in Season 4, because we do have the trailer out there now showing, you know, a lot of what to expect with next season. And I did post a video breaking down that trailer yesterday if you have not seen it. We could just go brutal beachhead this game. I expect it to be like decently populated. I kind of wanted to go rig because, you know, Pandora's box is there now, but the medallion isn't there, and it was like kind of a weird drop for it anyway. So I don't really expect there to be many, if any, people at rig at the moment. So we can go brutal beachhead. Should pretty consistently be the most hotly contested POI every time the boss is here. Like, I just think, yeah, that medallion plus like mythic gloves is so good. I like landing on this side. I can't like mark while I'm in the air because it opens that thing, but I like landing at the side of the ship that I'm looking at now, because I feel like it's typically not the most contested side, and there's a decent amount of loot and barrels you can get here, and then just kind of drop and look down at Megalodon if somebody is rushing to fight him. I don't know if I want to spectate this person. It took them way too long to kill me. They do already have a crown, though. We're going to be on board with Weird Gamer. Someone might be fighting Megalodon. Maybe not, though. Yeah, someone is already fighting Megalodon. If they go down a level, there's like a balcony thing they can drop down on. This person needs to be concerned about that, though. Like, I would, as soon as somebody's fighting Megalodon, I want to get eyes on them. Megalodon might have gotten the kill, though, because he's no longer taking damage. Like, that fight seems to have stopped. This is kind of weird, though, because, like, the way the fight went, like, he walked over here. But at any of these boss POIs, if someone's fighting the boss, like, they become, like, public enemy #1 for me. Ours. I wouldn't want to shoot Megalodon here yet. If he was really weak, then you could shoot him and then, like, just take the thing. But he's not incredibly weak, and there's still other people here, so I don't mind baiting this. This gets rough, though. He spread out all his light ammo on that car. I think waiting for the car to push him would have been a better play, especially because this player has EMPs. I mean, they do put a shield bubble on their car, but it doesn't matter. There you go. Nice. So that's what I was going to say. If you, like, leave the car be and then they drive into you or drive, like, towards you, I feel like that's, like, the easiest opportunity to EMP them. Now, it looks like Weird might be back to the lobby as well. They just got double EMPs. They had no shield to begin with. Decent play with the bubbles. Overlapping them like that kind of makes it where you can get some peaks on the opponent, where like maybe you're sliding into one as they're sliding into the other. There's a lot of separation, but they still end up losing the fight. I expect this player to go get some cactus and then come back. Maybe not. Do they not want the medallion? I feel like it'd be very bizarre to land here and not care for the medallion. I am confused. I feel like the whole reason to land Brutal Beachhead is to get that unlimited nitro medallion and mythic gloves. I feel like even if you don't want the medallion, everyone would want mythic gloves, you know? Like, they're just so good. I thought he was going to hit the nitro ring, grab some of the cactus that was out there, and there's like a spot like right here where there's like a lot of barrels and like a little plane thing. You can go get that and heal and then come back for it, but I'm not sure. There's 3 barrels here. This is good for them. Doesn't seem like there's anybody else in this area, though, so they are, like, somewhat chill. I hope he goes for Megalodon now. Got an odd setup of, like, DMR and combat shotgun. I feel like the DMR is, like, a very good weapon in competitive, but in public matches, I feel like it's rarely needed that much at this point, especially with how this season plays out. There's so much mobility that I feel like long-range fights really don't happen that much. And if they do happen, like, the enemy has, like, just an easy out at any point in time, you know? Like, if you hit someone good with a DMR, they could just glove away. But in competitive, especially, like, tournaments where there's not gloves, the DMR is really, really good. We'll see how this player plays this, though. They are going to get the mythic combat, I would assume. Okay, nice. Getting Megalodon's loot is always a struggle, I feel like. There might have been somebody else on him. He took more damage there than I would have expected. But I feel like where he's really lacking here is kind of like close to medium range. Like the combat shotgun does have the most range, so like it does complement the DMR well, I guess. But if someone's like 40 meters away, 50 meters away, I feel like that's not combat shotgun range, and it's not quite DMR range either. So we'll see how they play this. They're going back to the POI, so it seems like they also might have thought there was somebody else here. They just want to get the barrels, but they're accidentally breaking them. He's getting the boss car. This is one thing I hope it's not in season 4. I kind of want to swap players now. I like forgot this was a thing because like I land here pretty often now and I just never get the car. Like I just like eliminate the boss, get his stuff, and then take the nitro ring and get out. Get that fizz. I do not like the dropping of the EMPs for the fizz. Personally, I would say drop shockwaves there because you already have gloves as mobility and you have unlimited nitro. So I feel like having the double mobility is less necessary. Now this player has no item to counter a car, which is also pretty problematic because they're using the DMR as like their secondary weapon. So like the DMR is not going to be good versus cars, you know? Or it's not going to be as good versus cars as like a Thunderburst SMG or a Combat AR would. So I think dropping the EMPs there for the cars, or dropping the EMPs for the Fizz rather than the Shockwaves leaves them like very vulnerable to dealing with enemy cars. Maybe their mindset is like, I'm just going to use my boss car to deal with enemy cars, but yeah, I don't know. I feel like the spectating perspective is like weird when you're spectating somebody in a car. What are we doing here? There's shots to the right. I think it's AI though, because I feel like there's always bots fighting over there. Can we look at what the other medallions are? One's over there. The other one I do not see. Oh, here it is. It's that rig. Surprising because like it was not there initially. Now his car's stolen. This is where some EMPs would be great, huh? And this is what I was talking about before about the DMR. Like, you're not gonna destroy that car with the DMR unless it's already very weak. All the shockwaves are gone now. And it's not like EMPs are the only counter to cars. Like, obviously the bow exists, but I just feel like having some potential counter to the cars, like, ideal. That's like one of the things I really disagree with like a lot of the community on, because like there's this kind of like sentiment within the community that like this season Fortnite nerfed cars into the ground, and that quote unquote ruined the season for people who enjoyed the cars. But I really do not think they nerfed them into the ground, because I still feel like I have to carry an item to counter them at all times. And like if you're watching this video, let me know if you probably carry something to counter cars like the EMP or the bow as well. So like if they were nerfed into the ground and irrelevant, we wouldn't feel like we have to dedicate an inventory slot just for have something to deal with them. His gun is not loaded here. Pickaxe? I think he had time to get the pickaxe trick off there if he did it quick, but he's got his boss car back. That's like a situation where the pickaxe trick would have been great, because that Brotherhood of Steel player is already quite weak there. I'm pretty sure he popped his shield with the combat shotgun shot. And so that's maximum 5 swings it's going to take to eliminate that player. But like odds are even less. Like if that player had lost any white health during the course of the game, which I think they did. The car is getting bowed. I think there's like somebody coming from like deep left as well. I'm surprised. I'm like very surprised here. Get in on that with the glove. This should be a kill. Nice. Good job. And that's Machinist Medallion too. In combat AR. 90 damage on this person. This could maybe be an elimination. I don't know where they went though. They're using med mist. Okay. I was about to say, I hear them using med mist, and that's kind of goes back to something I was talking about in a recent video I made about awareness. You hear that player using the med mist, not only do you know pretty much exactly where they are, because the med mist makes continuous noise, but also you know that like they're not gaining any shield in that time, and if they do, it's just their overshield. Whereas like if they were drinking a Nuka-Cola, then you know they're gaining both shield and health, so that person is going to heal much faster. Like the person using the menace, I think, is like an easier target to like jump on. They did end up going away from the DMR. I think that's good. Personally, I rarely run a setup like this at this point in the season. Like I typically run like just 2 guns and then a car counter item, but of what was there for him, I feel like this was the best choice. I like having the gatekeeper shotgun over the combat, but like, you know, the combat is fine too. It's just preference. And he seemed good with it thus far. I feel like one of the things, like this player mechanically seems all right as far as like aim goes, but like, I feel like a lot of the fights could have gone much worse for them if the enemies played better. Like when they ran up on that car that like ran them over with the spike barrier. Like that was questionable. The other Medallion player is at this bunker. If I was in this match, I would maybe want to go and hold that and try to eliminate that player, but also at the same time, like, doesn't really matter because I feel like Ringmaster Scar's Medallion is the one that I care about the least. Some people really like it, especially if you use the bow. It's great, and like getting unlimited ammo and mythic bow, I think would benefit this player. Drop like the Thunderburst or the combat AR for that. Like just relying on guns for eliminating the cars, it can work, but it takes so long that like you're more likely to get third party. That person's more likely to make other plays. Like I like having something just remove the cars, but hopefully this is the final video I make like that we have to talk about this. If you know, cars play less of a role in season 4, I think that's something that a lot of people would like to have happen. I feel like he basically has to ram them and hope they flip. Not having an item to like just remove the car. The person is in his car with them. We'll maybe see if the gatekeeper shotgun is just insane. Yeah. That is why I like the gatekeeper shotgun. If that fight continued, that superhero 100% wins it, I think. Just getting in the car there, though, is a good play from Shep. Although, if the superhero chased harder, got back in the car themselves, or did the pickaxe trick, I think that, like, Shep would be back in the lobby right now. I think there was, like, another third party that pulled up, and the superhero just, like, chose to, like, be more concerned about that. W Cactus, though. This player's back to full HP. While remaining in a car the entire time. Island is spawned. It's, like, pretty far out of the way, though. Personally, I would want to go there myself, mainly just to get dashes, because I think dashes are very good, especially when dealing with Magneto, which seems like might be a problem that he has to deal with here soon. And being in a car versus a Magneto player can be rough, because it can hit you through the car and just kind of stun lock the car. And sometimes it can throw the car. I had a game the other day where I got out of my car that was getting Magnetoed, and then, like, the Magneto knocked the car into me, and I took damage from my car hitting me. Like, the Magneto is a menace. He's pinched here. This is, like, not good at all. I don't know what the Magneto player did, but this is very bad. This car is also weak. Gloves, please. Okay, I don't... That is why gloves are good, though. Because, like, I think that situation was bad, but recoverable. Once the first car blew up... Oh, my gosh. This person needs to reset, but they have no mobility. Dang, that's why mobility is so good. But, I guess we just see why mobility is good there both times. When the first car blew up, I think Shep should have just used his gloves and got out of there. Obviously, he didn't know that second car was as weak as it was. But, like, once he's gotten in that second car and that one's about to blow up and he takes the explosive damage from that too, he just takes so much damage and, like, I feel like he didn't even get to play the game in that time, you know? Like, one car blew up, gets in another, that car blows up, and now he's just basically dead. And then that superhero, for some reason, had no gloves, which is pretty surprising to me at this point in the game. They had gone to a weapon bunker. I think that was the Ringmaster Scar player. But, like, either they didn't want mobility or just got really unlucky. But that's why mobility can be so important. Because, like, the initial trade, this Brotherhood of Steel player won out, like, hard on damage. And then now, with no mobility at all, that superhero skin has no choice but to just continue in that fight that's already pretty much a guaranteed loss. Whereas like if they had some sort of mobility, they maybe could have like gotten away and reset the fight. But they had no mobility, no heals, which makes it hard to do that. Like you're not going to be able to reset with no mobility. And then even if he does get away, not having heals is a struggle, but we are in the desert biome. So like cactus would have been the play there, I think. It just like stinks for that superhero skin that they weren't able to get to the like medallions and those mythic gloves. But this Brotherhood of Steel player had VATs. They just like hit all their shots there. 4 opponents remain. This guy has all medallions and gloves. Has a setup similar to what I would have. Like, I don't like having the bow as my car counter item, but it can get the job done and also be like a good sniper if you want to snipe. And then he has like shotgun AR. Personally, I don't like having only medkits as a healing item. But yeah, that's what he has. Some people are of the mindset that like you don't need a shield item if you have the medallion, but I think that's not true because like imagine if this car would kept chasing him and kept pressure on, and he could get to a rock here and like drink a Nuka-Cola. Like he would heal so fast. Whereas like with only a shield, like with only white heals, then like he can't get shield back in that moment, and then like that could be the difference maker in that fight. Does have medallion to gain shield, but I personally don't like relying entirely on that. Like in a dire situation, having medallion plus shield item, you just heal so fast and can like turn things. It probably won't come back to bite them though. Imagine I start playing heal off. This is bad. He has 1 glove use left and someone's using Magneto. He needs to chill. Like this player really wants time to go by without getting in a fight, I think. Because if I'm going to have to fight a Magneto player, I want my gloves, you know? But he had to use all his gloves to get up that mountain. That's a bot. Let's see if he drops the medkits for the Nuka-Cola. Oh, GG's. That's very lucky. I feel like if that player just spams Magneto, then Rat Society is dead. Like they use the Magneto and then switch their gun. But like I'm sure a lot of you like have experienced this where you get hit once with Magneto and then you just can't move your character anymore because you just keep getting like stun locked over and over again with each Magneto shot. That was why I was saying he really wants the gloves. Like if I'm fighting somebody that's using Magneto, I do not want to be on the ground. You can also take damage through the car. I think that like how intent this player is. Okay, they get a heal box, but I was gonna say with how intent this player is on using the car, I think it can come back to bite them. Like, if you get magnetoed in a car explosion into just getting magnetoed over and over again, I feel like you just die. Like cars can be good at dealing with Magneto or like kind of dodging some of the shots if they don't have line of sight on you, but if you're just like committed to the car as it blows up and then get like damaged by the car and also magnetoed in that time, like it can go south very quickly for you. This player needs to do something. Like I don't like what's going on here because I feel like this Brotherhood of Steel person is just like trying to waste as much time as possible. But like if you don't deal with this person, eventually they will just like Magneto you to death, you know? Eventually they're gonna land a shot and then he's not gonna be able to move anymore. Like trying to get somewhere and turn back and beam them, I think would be ideal, especially now because like his car is healthy, he's full HP, guns are loaded, and his gloves should be full regen as well. So like now is an ideal time to fight. I would probably want to get on this building and then look back. Like get on the roof. Not this roof, but the other one. Like I would want to be right there. Almost got costed just for like picking up a big pot. Like I feel like it took them too long to loot and then those GGs. This can be good. I don't mind jumping on them there. It is like a 50-50, but like I do it a lot to the Magneto players. The Gatekeeper shotgun can kill so fast. This is GG's, by the way, Sober. Or it should have been. Glove saved them. This is what I was talking about before with like the medallion plus the big pot though. sure they get capped out at 75 because of the medallion, but they healed up so quick that if that person had run in there, that would have been like, it's worth just healing quick. This is GG's though, I think. It should be. Like, this player has gotten lucky so many times. I'm like, oh no. Switch to shotgun and kill him, please. Is this shotgun not loaded? Oh, it's not. He needs one shot though. For the AR here. I've never been like, it sounds like I'm rooting for this Brotherhood of Steel player's downfall, but I would really like him to eliminate this Magneto person. I just feel like he had his opportunity and like, yeah, I don't know. Gatekeeper. He's like trying to glove melee too much, I feel like. Gatekeeper, please. One shot. Okay, thanks. One shot from the Gatekeeper shotgun there. The game's over. Or like that player is eliminated. He drops his AR for Magneto. I don't know if that was intentional or not, but like, it's fine. It's a 1v1 and this final player hasn't done anything for a long time. But that's one of the reasons why I like using the Gatekeeper shotgun so much this season. Like, always, it's just a good shotgun I enjoy. But like, if you're fighting a Magneto player up close and you can just get on them and just like deal, you know, max damage or like very high damage 2 shots in a row, you can completely turn that fight. But like, his gun wasn't loaded, so he kept having to go to the glove melee. Final player dies to Storm. It was an AI. That's what I was gonna say. With those two people fighting for that long and no one third partying it, I was decently sure it was an AI or just like a very ratty player, because that fight was going on for an eternity, it felt like. But I'm happy to see the Magneto player lose, even though it kind of did seem like I was rooting against Rat because I counted him out so many times. But I feel like the Magneto player kind of threw. But that is going to be it for this video. I feel like that's kind of that was a weird game, but I feel like it's a somewhat fitting final spectating video for this season, watching just cars and Magneto everywhere. Let me know what you guys think of the season 4 trailer, what you're excited to see, or just what you thought of season 3 in general, and I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.